Hello everyone, I'm Rafi, welcome back. Here we're going to develop your conversation in English, not only on the language but also on the topics of conversation, the content of our conversations, ok? O conteúdo das nossas conversas, né? Então liga a legenda se você quiser, muda a velocidade do vídeo se você quiser. Ajuste, né? Adjust your studies, okay? Let's go. Let's get started today. Once again, I'm gonna use one of my. I'm a little sick, sorry. We're going to use another one of my lessons to have a conversation to talk a little bit about English. And today we're gonna talk about hobbies, but specifically about the hobbies of some geniuses, né? O plural de genius is geniuses that we had throughout our human history. So I chose Alan Turing, the guy who invented the computer, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, and then we'll talk about what habits they had, what hobbies they had, and specifically talk about hobbies in general because they are great. It's great to have a hobby and enjoy it. So I will start reading the text, the introductory text that I used in class and also that I'm going to use here in the classes. Let's go. Let's read this together. I will make questions about the vocabulary, but let's see if you can understand it the first time you hear. Let's go. So the introduction. Hobbies are very important throughout our lives. When we're kids, hobbies can help us discover our passion, our gift, develop our body and mind, and a lot more. When we're adults, it can help us make friends, relieve stress, and maybe change careers. When we're old and have a lot of free time, hobbies help us keep our body and mind active. Okay? So here we talked about hobbies in 3 different phases of life. When we're kids, when we are adults, and when we are a little older, when we're old. And one question, one word that I use here to illustrate this concept is throughout. Throughout significa durante todo, ok? Throughout our lives, durante todas as nossas vidas, né? A gente pode usar isso throughout the day, durante todo o dia, throughout the year, durante todo o ano, throughout the book, durante o livro todo, throughout the meeting, durante toda a reunião, né? Do início ao fim. É isso que a gente quer dizer com throughout. Palavra bem legal de aprender, estranha de escrever, liga a legenda se quiser ter certeza aí. Normalmente o YouTube faz um bom trabalho em pegar o que eu falo. So we use the hobbies can help us discover our passion, the things we like, and also our gift. Gift significa presente, mas também significa dom, né? Our gift. And it's possible to develop our body. It's good for our mind as well. And when we are adults, it's especially good to relieve stress, né? Uma das palavras que a gente usou aqui, relieve stress. Relieve é aliviar, né? Bem legal essa palavra. And sometimes it can help us change careers. A lot of people discover a new profession, a new career, and they change their lives completely because they started doing some hobby, and then they understood that it's possible to use it professionally. So it's very good. And when we are old, they're so important for us to really have a quality of life and health, mental health and physical health. When we are old, hobbies are especially relevant because we have a lot of free time, and then it's important to keep our body and our minds active, and hobbies are a great way to do that. Okay, but as I said, today we're going to talk about the hobbies of some genius people that we had, some geniuses, and then I will read this second part for you guys. Let's go ahead. So there are many options of hobbies. They can be related to sports, to art, to our homes, and many other activities. But it's not easy to find one we love and that we can practice regularly. Let's talk about our options and learn about the hobbies of some geniuses for inspiration. So maybe today we can get inspired by these geniuses people. They were very busy with their normal jobs or their regular occupation, but they also had time for hobbies, and that's what we should do as well. Here we have hobbies can be related to, né? Related to, uma ótima palavra é relacionado a, né? Related to sports, né? Relacionado aos esportes. Related to art, né? Relacionados à arte e assim por diante, né? A palavra regularly, bem legal também, né? Regularmente, né? Então é legal de usar essa palavra regularly num contexto mais formal. A gente pode usar no trabalho, né? E assim por diante. Então, a gente começa falando de Albert Einstein, ok? Albert Einstein had a very good hobby, was related to music, né? Relacionado à música, né? He played the violin. The violin is one of my favorite instruments. I don't play it, okay, and I don't listen to classical music, no. But the violin is present in a lot of other kinds of songs, other kinds of music. Such a beautiful instrument. It's normally a little sad, a little melancholic, but it's definitely a beautiful sound. I love it. I love to watch people play. It's so nice. Did you guys know that that thing, I don't know the name, I'm very stupid, okay? But did you know that the thing that people use to play it, to rub on the chords, né, de ficar esfregando lá naquelas cordas do violino, that thing is made out of horse's hair, if I'm not mistaken, né, é feito de cabelo de cavalo. This is crazy. But anyway, music is normally related to something, to very intelligent people. It's one kind of intelligence. We have 8 kinds of intelligence, 8 types of intelligence. One of them is music. So it's that ability for you, for your brain, to identify sounds and rhythm, ritmo. And also you have the coordination, this synchrony between your brain and your motor skills, your coordination to actually perform the sounds and the movements very accurately, né? Boa palavra, accurate é preciso e accurately é precisamente, né? Com bastante precisão, bem legal. So Einstein loved music and he played the violin. He never played it professionally, but he played very well and he took his violin with him wherever he went. Né? He took his violin with him wherever he went. Wherever he went é qualquer lugar que ele fosse, né? Que ele fosse viajar, né? Que ele, wherever, qualquer lugar. Wherever, é bem legal. A gente conhece o whatever, que é qualquer coisa, whenever, que é qualquer momento, ou wherever, que é qualquer lugar that he traveled. So, very nice. Einstein played the violin, not professionally, but really, really well. And then I asked the question, what art form could be a hobby for you? Né? Forma de arte. What art form could be a hobby for you? Qual forma de arte, né, poderia ser um hobby para você? So for me personally, music could be one of these things. I love playing. I used to play the guitar. Eu costumava tocar a guitarra, né? Or I played the guitar for a couple of years when I was a teenager. Had classes, played a lot of songs, learned online a lot of. I did all that stuff, and also. The piano. Nowadays, if I would learn an instrument, I would learn how to play the piano. It's so beautiful. It's so diverse. You can play any kind of songs, any kind of music on the piano, and definitely music could be an art form for me. But I also love these hobbies that generate a physical product, a final product that is something you can hold, touch, and see. Music is something you play and that's it. You listen in the moment or not. But if you are drawing or painting, né? Desenhando ou pintando, né? If you're drawing or painting, then you could maybe have a final product that is very beautiful. You can decorate your home, you can give it as a present or as a gift. Nesse caso, gift seria presente. You can give it as a gift to one of your friends, your family, people you love. It's very nice. Particularly for me, I would like to learn how to paint aquarela because it's easy, okay? And also it looks very beautiful, I think. I think it's one of the easier things, like not only to paint, I'm sure it can be difficult on a professional level, but to have the materials is very simple, you know? You have some water, you have some paint, some brush, que é o pincel, brush, and then you have the paint that is mixed in water. It's simple to have it. So that could definitely be a hobby for me, maybe to paint aquarela. I do have the material, and I did some experiments. I played a little with it, but definitely not a hobby that I practice regularly. regularmente, né? Então, bem legal de pegar esse. So, the next one I would like to talk about is Alan Turing. Alan Turing was the guy who invented the computer. So, right now, we're watching this. Not thanks to this guy, but we like to romanticize things, né? De romantizar as histórias, né? Thanks to Alan Turing. No, not only him. But anyway, he invented the computers. He's considered the father of computers. And he loved to explore the philosophy of artificial intelligence. Look at that guy. He was exploring the philosophy of artificial intelligence. There is something called the Turing test. I don't know if you guys are studying AI or you watch people talking about AI, artificial intelligence. But there is something called the Turing test. The Turing test is when an artificial intelligence software, program, computer, whatever, can talk to you and you don't know. You can't tell. You can't tell. Olha só, you can't tell. Não tente traduzir, que não faz sentido. You can't tell é que você não consegue dizer. Quer dizer, você não percebe, você não consegue perceber, por isso você não consegue dizer se é uma máquina ou se é um ser humano, né? This is the Turing test. You interact with a machine, an artificially intelligent machine, and you can't tell if that machine is a human or not. So then you pass or not the Turing test if you can't tell. Se você não consegue dizer, se você não consegue perceber. And then but on his spare time é o tempo livre, spare é o que você tem extra, que você tem de sobra, né? In your spare time, he liked to run to relieve stress. There is a movie about Alan Turing, a little sad, a little intense. He was gay, he had hormone treatment because it was a crime in that time, so he suffered a lot with it, and running was one of the ways that he found to cope with that. To cope é lidar com isso no sentido de processar algo difícil, né? Às vezes um luto, ou às vezes a situação que ele passou, né? The situation he went through, ele passou, he went through. To go through a situation é passar por uma situação. E no passado, o go fica went, né? He went through this. And to cope with it, né? Para lidar com isso, to cope with it, he used to run to, maybe for many other things, I don't know, but you go and watch the movie. It's a good movie to get the invention of computer. It's a beautiful, not a beautiful story, but it's an amazing story about World War II. They're cracking German codes, né? Que é decifrando códigos alemães de Hitler. Cracking German codes. It's full of drama. It's amazing. It's a great. I don't remember the name of the movie. But definitely just look it up and you'll find it. And then I asked the students what sport could be a hobby for you. So considering all the sports we have available today, we have a lot of sports, a lot of options nowadays. We're in 2025 right now. Recently, we had CrossFit rising up on the popularity. We also had beach tennis. I see a lot of people have running groups around the city, and we have people riding their bikes as well. Going to the gym, the classes at the gym, dance classes and everything. There are many sports that are trending, né, que estão em alta, né, estão em moda, né, they're trending. There are many sports we can choose from. Whatever you like, I'm sure you can find somebody to play it with you. And considering the sports, I really like exercising, like going to the park, and I exercise at the park. I have some equipment I take to the park, and I exercise there. It's like a functional training, more or less. It's not a sport necessarily. But if I had to choose a sport, I love surfing, but I don't live at the beach. It's completely difficult to go there, and maybe I could play a sport here like soccer or football, depending on where you live in the world. And anyway, sports, we have many options available. I'm not sure I would like to have a sport as a hobby, like to practice regularly. I like exercising in the park. It's nice, it's calm, and it's individual. Doesn't involve a lot of people. And then it tends to be easier, né? Tende a ser mais fácil. Tends to be easier. And the last one I'd like to talk to you guys about is Isaac Newton. Before we start, Isaac Newton, he was a mean guy, I think. Ele era uma pessoa meio do mal, okay? If you guys read a little bit about Isaac Newton, he's not only this genius, okay? He's a mean guy, evil, I think. He enjoyed making people suffer, okay? Of course, in his mind, he thought he was right, né? He thought he was right. Ele pensava que ele estava certo. Olha só, he thought he was right, né? He thought he was right and he thought people deserved it, né? Que as pessoas mereciam. But he made a lot of people suffer and he was petty. I don't know how to translate petty, mas é quando você sai fora do seu caminho para fazer alguém sofrer, tipo, provar que você está certo ou realmente para ganhar, sabe? This is petty, I think. I don't know how to translate this to Portuguese. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there because it's not all romantic like we think sometimes. Like he's Isaac Newton, he's sitting under a tree and the apple falls. And no. He's a mean guy. Anyway, so Isaac Newton, he's maybe the most, I will read the text, sorry. I will read the text. He's maybe the most influential scientist ever. He dedicated his life to science, hypotheses, observations, results, and conclusions. But in his spare time, olha de novo, spare time, tempo livre, de sobra, he loved to do something crazy. He looked for a magical material that had the power to turn other materials into gold, né? So he looked for a magical material, né? Algum tipo de substância mágica that had the power to turn other materials, né? To turn, nesse caso não é virar, seria transformar, né? Transformar outros materiais into gold, né? Em ouro, né? Alquimia, alchemy. So he studied that a lot. He wrote papers on this. He studied in a lab. It was a serious thing. Maybe not a hobby. Maybe it's a little mistaken to have that as a hobby. Not exactly that. Little mistaken é um pouco errôneo, errado, né? Mistaken, com N no final nesse caso, tá? Mistake é erro e mistaken um pouco enganoso, enganado de colocar como hobby. It was serious for him, but not his main practice, né? Não era a sua prática principal. Okay? And then I asked the students what item would you collect as a hobby, né? Que item, né? Você would you collect? Lembrando que o would, essa palavra would, não tem necessariamente uma tradução no português, ela não existe no português, né? O que o would faz? Ele coloca a terminação, o sufixo ria, no verbo que vem depois dele, né? Às vezes pode ser would you collect, como eu coloquei aqui, né? Qual item você colecionaria? What item ou what item, junto T no I, né? What item, né? Or what item. Né? O T com som de R é bem comum, né? Em alguns sotaques, né? Algumas pronúncias. What item would you collect as a hobby? Né? Qual item você colecionaria como um hobby? Né? As a hobby. As a é como um. É muito comum a gente ver essas duas palavrinhas juntas, hein? As a hobby, como um hobby, né? Honestly, to answer this question, I would not like to collect anything as a hobby. I don't like stuff. I don't like material. I don't like to see a lot of things around here. But I do collect books, but it's not like one item. It's not a collection. I just buy the books because I want to read them and I want to have them because I have a family and I like to think about the future. Maybe I want to read them again. Maybe I want my kids to read them. Maybe I want the people I like, I love, and maybe my friends, I like to give them the books. I don't collect books, but I have a lot of them. But that's the only thing that I would collect, but it's not actually a collection. I just buy many books. But I wouldn't like to collect anything. I don't like stuff holding me down. I have this sensation that it's holding me down, que está me segurando, me prendendo. I prefer to have very, very little things, very, very little appointments. Little of everything. Okay, everything, Jesus. Okay, let's go. Do you practice any hobbies? That's another question that I asked my students. If people have them, a lot of people have a hobby they like, don't really practice it. And then I ask people if there are any hobbies that they would like to practice. That's something that I invite you guys to consider. If there is a hobby you would like to practice, I just recommend you get started. because you never know. Get started, né? Começa, né? Dá início. Get started on this, okay? But that's it, guys. That's it for today. I hope this helps, these little tips. I hope you practice your listening, expanded your vocabulary. Make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, I guess. I don't know, it feels weird to say. Parece meio estranho dizer. Feels weird to say, but that's it. Thank you very, very much. I really hope it helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.